Welcome to the Hoops with Us podcast, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Coach Mark Berokoff. He is the head coach at Randall University. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. So, Coach, the first question that I have for you today is for everyone out there that doesn't know too much about you. Just tell us a little bit about your coaching journey.
Yeah, coaching journey. It's long. I coached high school basketball out in California for a long time. I coached high school basketball in Kansas for a few years. I coached slam ball on TV. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I was one of the 8 people in the world to do that. I coached at the junior college level in Texas for a year and did 2 years of I was at the Division I level at Louisiana Tech and Texas State. And then I ended up at Randall University 8 years ago. So it's been, I've been kind of all over the map a little bit.
That's awesome, Coach. So, Coach, like you just told us, you coached at the high school level where you had a overall record of 225-77, which is incredible. Just tell us how you transitioned from coaching high school players to coaching college players.
I mean, I don't think it was a huge transition. It was more of at the college level, you get more time with your guys. In high school, it's a little different. I miss high school because the summer was so awesome to go out and play like a month worth of basketball with the guys. But you know, the transition was it didn't really change for me. I mean, we watched a lot of film in high school. We did the same thing with practice stuff. I mean, maybe the scouting reports got more detailed, and you spent more time in terms of scouting with your guys. But the transition was smooth. I mean, I didn't find it to be complicated at all. I found it to be more. It was more exciting because you got more time with the guys in the gym.
Absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more on that. So, Coach, the next question that I have for you is: you said you were at the D1 level, where you were at Louisiana Tech, where they had one of their best seasons in history. I think you guys went 24-11 overall. I could be mistaken. Just tell us a little bit about that experience.
That was a great experience. I mean, the staff that I worked with was really good, real detailed. All of those guys are still doing good things at the Division I level. The team was really, really good. I really learned how serious film breakdown and scouting reports were. And that was the time when the WAC was really, really good. I mean, it was Utah State, Hawaii. We had Paul George was in the league with Fresno State. Nevada had some really good players. So it was really a talented league. But I learned a lot. I mean, I learned how serious film could be and scouting and attention to detail. I had a great experience at Louisiana Tech, a really good experience.
Yeah.
And the travel was crazy. It was awesome. We'd go San Jose to Hawaii to play an ESPN game in Utah. So I mean, it was crazy. It was good stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, like you just said about the film breakdown, when I've done podcasts with other coaches, I think with coaches that have also coached in high school, like you were saying, I think that the film breakdown goes a little bit under the radar. It's such a big part of the game. Like, you really have to have your guys study this film and the scouting reports, like you said, for their opponent in that second game, because that the little stuff that players do that you see on film could go a long way during the game.
Yeah, exactly. If I could give any advice too for younger coaches out there, make sure they know how to break down film and use synergy and all of that stuff, because that comes in handy in terms of a resume and knowing how to do that. So that's an advice for young coaches out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I just finished playing my senior year at the D3 level, and I was JUCO before, and I didn't really know about synergy until I got to the NCAA D3 level, and just going through that and looking at all the little tedious things that they account for percentage-wise, it's just a great platform to use for scouting and for scouting reports and film.
Yeah, exactly. It's really detailed.
Yeah, very. All right, Coach. So the next question that I have for you is you competed in the NCAA tournament. I think it was twice.
For the NCAA, for where I'm at currently,
yeah,
we've been in it 5 straight years now.
Five straight years. I apologize. So
No, that's okay.
Just tell us about that experience in the seasons that I know you just said it was the past 5 seasons you guys have been up there. Just tell us the dedication that your guys really have put in to reach this platform of playing in the tournament.
So I'll first start by saying this. I think, especially right now, in terms of coaches at this level and trying to get, if they're trying to move on to bigger schools, I think people don't realize how good NCAA basketball is. A lot of the upper level teams compete against D1 and D2 and have done very well. The coaches are really, really solid at this level. It just goes to show you how many good coaches are out there and how many good players are playing basketball in general. But in terms of our program and getting to the tournament, we won 3 straight national titles. We had played in 4 straight national championships. We lost the first one and then won 3. But in terms of getting there and winning and all that stuff, I don't think people realize. Sometimes people think it's easy, but man, you've got to have an amazing amount of luck, a shot to go in, a guy not to get in foul trouble, a turnover here, a missed wide open 3 by another team. But we put a lot of effort into that to get there and to build our program up to where it was. We changed the culture, the whole outlook of the program, who we recruited. We recruited a lot of local and Oklahoma City guys. So it takes a lot of work to get there. But I think people need to understand the coaches at this level are pretty solid. And I hope athletic directors out there don't look at the title, but look at how these guys are as coaches, because we have a lot of very good coaches at the NCAA level.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. Absolutely. So, Coach, I was doing a little research on you, and I came across that you also coached at the well-known and very famous ABCD camp. Just tell us about that experience.
Okay, yeah. I'd actually gone to ABCD working with Dave Benezra and Mark Mayamura, and worked with them. I wasn't technically on the ESPN stuff, but I did a lot of the evaluations. And then I got to coaching at one of the last year that I went. I mean, it's an experience that I don't think anybody, unless you've done it and been to ABCD, it's the Mecca.
Yeah.
It kind of cracks me up now. AAU is so different when it was when I was coaching it, and the shoe circuits. I mean, there was 2 of us, Adidas and Nike, and we didn't like each other. And there weren't like all of these hundreds of teams. I mean, it was just, you knew who the 10 best were and the 10 over there in Nike. But ABCD was incredible. I mean, I saw one of my high school kids was the point guard for Lenny Cook's team in the famous LeBron versus Lenny Cook championship game. Tim Drisden was my high school point guard, and he was the point guard for Lenny in that game. So I got to see a lot of cool stuff at ABCD. I mean, it's basketball, and it's the coaches working it, it's the AAU guys working it, and then there's the Godfather, Sonny Vaccaro, walking around, and it's so cool to coach it. I mean to coach against LeBron James.
Yeah.
Not many people could say they've done that.
Yeah, that is awesome. I was not too long ago, I was watching the Lenny Cook documentary, and they had a big segment on that when he went to that camp and when that game happened, and that must have been awesome. Not like you just said, not a lot of people can say they've coached against LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, we played Lenny Cook in that because it's like a league. The camp is a league, so you play whatever amount of games per day. But I mean, I was there center court for that Lenny Cook LeBron game because I was watching my own kid play, and at the time, LeBron was the big name and Lenny was the big name and Sebastian Telfair. But I never at that point in my mind would have thought LeBron is what he is now. I mean, he was phenomenal, but he's a global icon now. But to say that I was at that game watching it, I mean, that's a once in a lifetime experience, and it was lucky that you actually were there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's one of those things where everybody says they were there, but you really weren't. But I was there.
Yeah, that's awesome, Coach. So, Coach, the next question that I have for you today is, what are you and your staff doing? I know it's tough times right now during the quarantine and the pandemic, and I know that the recruiting process has also changed with a lot of coaches doing Zoom calls like me and you are doing right now to recruit kids, to show them virtual visits. So what are you and your staff doing differently during this recruiting process, and what are you guys doing to improve for this upcoming season?
So I have a real good assistant in Coach Garrett White, and he actually lives on campus. So we really haven't seen each other much. We just here in Oklahoma kind of just back opened up. So I've been doing some administrative meetings with our administrative team, but Garrett and I mean, Twitter is an amazing thing. your phone is an amazing way to connect with kids all over the country. We've done a lot of Twitter, and a lot of emails have come through, and it's been different in terms of the recruiting. We love to have campus visits because, you know, our campus is, we're small, and it's a family atmosphere. So getting kids on our campus is huge. We haven't been able to do that. So it was slow at first, and it's really picked back up. So in terms of anything different other than the campus visits, that's kind of what has changed.
Yeah.
And it's been odd not seeing my staff and seeing the guys, and, you know, trying to monitor them through the computer and online classes. And in terms of improving our program and stuff, I mean, Coach White and I are just, you know, trying to figure out what we're going to do defensively and offensively. And there's not much we want to change because we don't really lose a lot of guys. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. So it's just been an odd time. And at first it was kind of like, all right, we don't have to go in the office today. But now it's like, man, I miss seeing the guys and the school and my coach. And so it's been odd. It's been very odd.
Yeah, I could only imagine. So, Coach, one of the final questions that I have for you today is, like I said before, I was doing some research on you, and I came across a very fun and cool fact. You were actually one of the basketball coordinators for the famous movie with Samuel L. Jackson, the famous basketball movie, Coach Carter. Just tell us a little bit about that experience. Like you said, definitely not a lot of coaches from around the world have been able to do such a thing like that. So tell us about that.
So one of my closest friends, best friends, like a brother to me, Randall, we coached slam ball together. He coached the Bouncers. I was with the Bandits. And he got to know the guy that was going to run that production. And Hernando invited me in like a year before that to help him. Mm-hmm. So we actually went through the basketball tryouts, and then picking all the people for the movie, and then doing a training camp for them. And then I had spent so much time doing that with Hernando and that company that they just said, hey, do you want to be in the movie? And I was like, yeah, I would love to be. And I got super lucky that, you know, I'm the team that beat Coach Carter in that movie. And I got some pretty cool shots of me sitting on the bench, and I lost a lot of weight since then. So if you don't recognize me in my hair, but no, it was a wild experience. I mean, something that, watching Samuel L. Jackson work and seeing what goes into a movie, and then the movie's exploded. I mean, everybody knows about the movie Coach Carter. And so it was cool to see what goes on with the movie and how you train players, and, you know, the stops and starts and how many times it gets a take to have one of those guys make a shot. But no, it was a cool experience, something that not many people can say they've done. And I got very lucky just because I happen to know somebody. And of course, that's how it always works. But it was a cool experience. I mean, it's amazing how I never thought then how much it's brought up now. Yeah. I mean, we'll have a recruit say, hey, I heard this. Is that true? And then I'm shy in the sense, but it's amazing how much that comes up. I thought coaching slam ball would be way more exciting than Coach Carter, and it's just the opposite. No one cares about slam ball. Everybody wants to know about the Coach Carter experience. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is very cool. All right, Coach. So the final question that I have for you today is, what are you looking forward to most about next season?
Man, the way our season ended in a hotel room watching film like 5 hours or so before our Elite Eight game at the national tournament. I look forward to getting back with the guys and seeing them around campus, because it was weird. I mean, the tournament got canceled. We drove back from Joplin, Missouri, back to Oklahoma City. We dropped them off. We went on spring break, and then we got shut down. Yeah. Completely. You know, we went to in shelter and in place, so we never got to have that final. We never got to have our banquet, and it just was weird. And luckily, we only had 2 seniors, so a lot of people had a lot of guys, and it just was heartbreaking. But I look forward to seeing the guys on campus, interacting with our campus life, and getting back in the office. I mean, I'm not a big let's sit in the office all day type of guy. But I look forward to just being around everybody again. I love the school I'm at, and such a family atmosphere. It's just weird doing Zoom meetings with people, and I like being out seeing people, not doing what we're doing. I'd rather do this interview in person with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just look forward to seeing everybody. It's just, you know, it's just an odd time.
It is, for sure. Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough for joining me on the show today. It was great talking with you. Hopefully this pandemic ends soon so you can get back in the gym with your guys and get back to Randall University. and reaching the tournament once again. And I'm looking forward to staying in contact with you, Coach, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Hey, thank you so much, and hopefully I was the better Berokoff of the interviews. So we can keep that on there, and we can post that. But thank you so much. It was an honor. You're doing great work, and you're reaching a lot of people in a lot of different variety. And I appreciate what you're doing for basketball.
Thank you very much, Coach. And like I said, I'm looking forward to staying in touch, and I will be in touch soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
No doubt. Stay safe.
Okay, you too.